Hi, everyone, and welcome to Alma Live, where we are talking on an entire series on emotional resilience. I'm Adriana Monique Alvarez. I'm so excited to be joining you from sunny Mexico. And please help me welcome today's guest, Eleonor Amora. We're so happy to have you. Oh my goodness, you're joining us. Tell us where you're joining us from.
I'm joining you from Sweden, and we have had snow here today.
You're having snow. We're at like 40 degrees, so we've got, the full spectrum here.
Yeah.
So, Eleonor, I know that you're a founder and you're an author, and I would love for you to tell our audience, in your own words, who you are and what you do in the world.
Okay. Well, I'm an indigo. And what characterizes an indigo is that it's quite fierce and sometimes quite annoying. It tells the truth, both the ones we do know and the ones we don't know. And sometimes those truths are kind of disturbing for us until we realize what they are. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm also a spiritual teacher. I have an academy of my own where I teach mostly multidimensional mediumship, but also multidimensional healing that I'm a founder of and a creator of. And that is my main focus, and also to teach the world about the new children of the new era, like indigos, crystal, rainbow children, and their characteristics and their needs. And because of that, I have also created the Church of the Conscious movement. It's quite interesting, actually. We use the freedom of religion to take our stand in the world. If we have laws, why shouldn't we use them for our benefits? Yes. So that is what I have done. And of course, I've also written several books. Empire Moms, that went as a bestseller on Amazon, which we're of course really, really happy about. And Phoenix in May, that we hope will be another success. And I also have several of my own that I'm going to publish this year. And one of them is The Spiritual Fly Trap, that talks about the pattern of codependency between empaths and narcissists. It's quite interesting and important. So that's what I'm doing.
I love it so much. When we were talking before we started this, you made reference to this connection to your core. And I told you, I think this is a beautiful definition of emotional resilience. And so I would love for you to share how you view this characteristic.
Okay. In the way I view it, so it has to do with finding your inner core, the nuance, the frequency that is just you, where nothing else matters. Because when you have found that feeling, the feeling of total balance, that then you can be dealing with everything in the world, since you're still going to be in that core, in that feeling. And otherwise it's so easy to just I can't find the word right now, but when you have found the balance, you're just being really down to earth and yes, I think you know what I mean.
Yes.
I have a
You're
trouble
not being
finding the words right now.
Blown in the wind, right, of life. Yeah.
Exactly.
And so, one of the things, because I know that people who watch this are going to go, yes, I want that, especially right now, right? I mean, people are dealing with so much information, so many new things, so many updates, so many changes, all of this at once. So if somebody is not feeling that, they're feeling like they are just getting whipped around by life, what's maybe one thing that they could do to find their way to coming into that core place.
Okay. What I teach mostly about is to find, to control the energy field. I wrote about this in Empire Moms, and it has to do with being an empath. Most people, they don't know that there are empaths, but most of us are in different degrees, of course. But what happens when you are an empath, you are taking in other people's energies in your energy field. And we don't want that, because when we are having other people's emotions mixed up in ours, we don't know what we are thinking or feeling or anything, because it's all entangled. So what we're doing is there are several exercises that are easy to do, and one is to imagine yourself as a color, and you could, if you visualize that you have a paper, white paper, and you decide upon a color that you think you are. For example, I could be this purple now. And if you have watercolors and you put it on the paper, you know that it's going to flow away a bit. What do you say?
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Yes,
spread out.
Spread out on the paper. And what we want to do, because the reason for me to using images when we are working with the energy frequencies is that we are the energy flows where we think, where we use visualizations. So I am focusing upon getting the color tighter together. I want it to be just a circle. I don't want it to be all around the paper. So I'm focusing upon, if I am the color now, if I am the purple color, and I'm looking upon it and I'm seeing, okay, the purple is a bit spread out here, and I am pulling it back towards my body, towards my center, and I don't want it to be far away either. I want it to be around my body, around my physical body, because the auric field is supposed to be around an arm's length around you. It's not supposed to be any further away than that. So we are pulling it back here. That's one of the things we could do. And it's easy to do because we can so easy pick a color and we could pull the color closer to us. And when we have started doing that, we could look upon, okay, do I see other colors in my field? Perhaps there are if I have a husband or if I have an ex-husband, I love my husband, but I don't want him in my field. I want us to have a good relationship, but I want us to have firm borders in the field, because the stronger I stand in the field, the better relationship we have and the better communication we have, because then it makes me easier. It makes it easier to interpret me and to understand what I'm saying, especially if I choose the right words, but that's another question. And it's from my burnout earlier in my life. There's so many ways to do it. But it's really important that we do it, because when we have a strong core, when we have a strong border towards other people, we don't. Otherwise, we usually act like sponges. We just take in everything, and if we're doing that, we're going to have a burnout, like as I did when I was younger, and mine lasted for 10 years, and it took a lot of years of my life. But instead, it also made me realize about the energetic field, about the borders, about our needs to have frames.
Yes, absolutely. And I love that visualization. That's right. You have a comment that said you're doing great, and I absolutely agree.
Wonderful.
Now, I'm sure that you have a personal story, probably many, right? But what's one personal story that you'd like to share on how you learned how to do this for yourself?
Okay. What I'm going to, what you can read in my chapter in Phoenix is that I was married to a narcissist, and besides trying to kill me, it's not that funny, I know, but it's been many years ago. But what I realized was that when he couldn't kill me, he tried to destroy my reputation. And when I had left him, he still tried to destroy my reputation. And from the beginning, I was devastated because I wanted to be able to control and to be able to tell people about my truth, about what really had happened. And right then, it was many years ago. It was in 2006. I couldn't, because there were so many people that believed what he told them, and he was writing all over internet and everywhere. And what that made me realize was that the only truth that was important was the one I knew here. If I hadn't found my inner core then, and if I hadn't been that strong and like in just finding that place within me that was completely true, and that I knew this is me, this is where I am, this is who I am, I would have gone under. I would have been, I wouldn't have survived. And what I also realized after that was that, okay, if people want to know my truth, they can ask me. I can't control what people think. I can't control that. And what I can't control in the outer world, I mean, that's a lot of things. That's just not the only thing about my husband. There are so many things we can't control in the outer world. Like, for example, Corona, or what our governments do. We can't control that. So the only thing I can control is my energy field, and that I'm feeling secure here, that I'm feeling this inner core. And I know that this core, this energy, it won't, it's not going to change. It's going to be the same no matter what happens. So that's how I learned it, and that's why I am teaching about it, since there are so many people that have been through different kind of relationships that are terrible, and are feeling exhausted like I did after the burnout, and that also helped me with that. So that's my story.
Wow. I mean, I think that we obviously talk about it in these interviews, but these are not skills that we learn on the sunny days, right? When everything is just perfect and smooth sailing, and it's a major life event, you know, when your partner, your spouse, is in this place with you. Thank you for being willing to share that. And I know, I mean, you're sharing back-to-back stories. You've got one that came out in Empire Moms. You're getting ready to release another one in Phoenix. So I just want to tell you, thank you for being willing to share your story, because I've observed it firsthand when it comes time to write, when it comes time to release it into the world, right? We feel that.
Yeah. Thank you.
So
yes.
If people, you know, for those who are watching and they're intrigued by what you're saying and they know it's true and they want more, how can people work with you?
I have online classes that they can work with me both when it comes to learning about how the energy field works, the Auric field, and I have all those programs on my website. They could also work with me when it comes to multidimensional mediumship or multidimensional healing. I have several classes online, and all of them has to do with who you are. It doesn't really have to do anything with being a special psychic. It has to do with you, because most people are psychics, and just in different kind of um, levels or something like that, because of course I have trained like this for many years. I have been working with this for 20 years now. And but what I really love about those programs is that there are so many people that are finding their strength. They are finding who they are, because we have been forced in this society to be someone we're not in order to fit in. And for me, for example, when I was a kid and I was psychic, I didn't tell my friends. Unfortunately, not. I didn't. Uh, but what happens when people are having, when they are signing up for these programs and they are starting to um, train? We are having different groups on Facebook, for example, and we are training there. And what happens is that they are, first of all, they are getting really good at saying no, because when you are training the energy field, when you are setting the borders and controlling it, you suddenly realize, like, okay, this is who I am, and I don't like you. No, no,
Yeah.
but not all the time, of course, but sometimes. And it's so good to be able to say no and to say, like, okay, I like this, I don't like that. I want this, I don't want that. And that has to do with uh, everything from relationships to what kind of work do I want to do? What do I want to work with? What do I want to people to think about me after I have left this world? What kind of change do I want to do? So what many people think is multidimensional mediumship, for example, uh, it mostly is about them anyway, and about them to realize, like, okay, this is who I am, and I have had these gifts all my life. I just didn't know how to control them, so that I can decide when to be a psychic and when I want to be a muddler, just being the normal. Well, normal, I'm quite normal, even though I am psychic, but I still want to be able to walk down the street, like, like I don't want to pick up everyone else's emotions all the time, because I couldn't I couldn't do that before. Oh, I have so many stories about that too. But um, this is so important. Everyone should do this.
I agree. I agree. Especially when we come into environments like we are in right now, we really begin to see how good we are at creating these boundaries, right? And taking care of our own well being first and foremost. I'm going to pop up the link to your Facebook business page. Be sure to check out all of her posts and offerings there. Now, I want to leave with one of my favorite quotes that you had given me earlier. Be in control of your own energy field, or other people's energies will control you. Do you have any final words for our audience as we wrap this up? What would your wish be for the world right now?
Okay. My wish for the world is that when everyone is starting to controlling their energy field, there is going to be peace, because you don't have the need to be in any drama afterwards. You don't get pulled into the drama. You're just happy with living your own life, just being where you are with whomever you want to share your life with. So right now, when it comes to the crisis we are in as a world, this is something that's even more important now, because we want peace. We want to be able to have a world where we can discuss things and not hate each other when we're having different kind of opinions, and that we can have a strong connection to each other, and not uh, being drained or being forced to do something we don't want to. So that is my my strong wish for now, that we're going to do that we're going to stand in our power, that we're going to control the field, that we are going to let our voices be heard, that we are going to take control of our lives, because that's what it is also.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being here. I know that you had some coordination to do on your part, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
I want to encourage everyone to reach out to Eleonor, check out her Facebook business page. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the chat here, and I'm sure that she'll be able to respond soon. I want to invite all of you to pick up your free pass to Networking Influencers and my free guide, Jumpstart Your Book. Those links are in the description. Until next time, stay well, and big hugs from Mexico. Thank you, Eleonor, for being here.
Thank you for doing it. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. You're so welcome.